Welcome to this exciting tutorial on building with the Avada theme. It's now October 2016 and overwhelmed that the new Avada Theme 5.0 is finally here. I'm going to take you through step by step how to use and benefit from the Avada theme, get you to think how it thinks one step at a time, no coding, using my proven production techniques. Now, what's nice about my training is I involve you in the thinking process. I get you to think the way the software thinks, hence think, learn, earn. So I'm here to help you every step of the way. I don't produce long-winded videos. Each video is short, sweet, to the point, but it gets you up and running in a quick manner. So if you go to the Avada Theme website, you'll see that they have these pre-built templates, which are really great. Now, if you want to build something totally from scratch, I have videos for that as well. But right now, we're going to dissect how to build, how to edit, make changes to it, how to add your own photos to the Avada Theme photography template, which is really exciting, very cool, well designed, etc., etc. So I've installed the photography theme. And if you sign up for my portal, you'll have complete access to the software for demonstration and training purposes only. If you're going to use this for commercial use, then you will have to buy the Avada theme from themeforest.net right now. Okay, so I'm logged in as the admin, and let me share with you some really cool production techniques. I use a lot of free plugins to benefit me from what WordPress doesn't do. One of my favorite plugins is something called Duplicate Post. If you want to install that, I highly suggest you do that to follow along with this tutorial. So I have this selected right here. Now, the thing I like about the duplicate post is it doesn't affect what I built before. So if you're working with a client and they have version 1, version 2, version 3, you don't want to have to use the WordPress version for that because that gets a little tedious. So what we'll do here to get started, I'm going to click right here on Make a New Copy. I'm going to take this one step at a time to share with you how the program thinks. That's going to put us right into our admin section. So we're just going to call this Home version 1. And save that or publish that. Now, right now, everything's the same, but now I have the other version to go back to if I totally screw this up. Now, let me share with you how it thinks and what it expects from you. Now, the Avada theme is the #1 best-selling theme on WordPress on themeforest.net for a reason. It's very intuitive, but there's a lot of little nuances, and it can trip you up if you don't start thinking the way the software thinks. Now, if you're new to 5.0, which just came out recently, you probably haven't seen a copy yet, that the interface is slightly different. They made some great improvements. It loads faster, everything else. So let's dissect this one step at a time. Now, here's just a little production technique for WordPress. I have friends that have worked in WordPress for years, and they don't use this little technique. I want to stay in my backend admin, but I want to see what the front end looks like. So I'm simply going to click Preview Changes. So that's going to show me a preview of the front end. So let me break down for you exactly how the Avada theme works and where the different elements and features are coming from. So here's the front end and the back end. So the back end of the page basically is right here. What you're seeing up here is actually the slideshow, which we'll talk about in more detail in a subsequent video. But right now I want you to get up and running in a quick, simplistic way. So let's go back to our backend admin. Now keep in mind that this is a saved version of a copy of the page that we use with our free plugin that you can get by just going to WordPress and searching for duplicate post. It's great. I use it all the time. It's a time saver. All right, so let's just break this down. So Avada is a drop and drag interface. Now this interface is dramatically different as far as visually different from the older version. So if you have an older version of Avada, I highly suggest you upgrade to the new version. It's faster loading, and once you get used to it with my video help, you'll be on your way. Okay, now if you come down here where it says portfolio, that portfolio is the information that you're seeing down here. That's what's feeding it, and this is really cool stuff. Now, if you click on here, you'll probably be very confused if you don't have my help or if you don't know anything about the theme. If I click on here, you'll see there's different properties for how the layout is shown in a carousel or a grid. Right now, it's shown with grid with text. So I'm not going to go into every single nuance because that's a complete waste of time. That's what you should use for your practice. I want to share with you how the software thinks, and then in your practice time, spend hours and hours and hours honing your skills. That's how I get good at this. I've been using software for 30 years, almost next year. Okay, how many posts per page? Now you'll see that there's no photos on here. You might say, well, wait a second here. Let's go to animation. Where's it getting its photos from? Well, the photos are coming from the portfolio section. Let's go back in here to general for a second. So right now you're seeing all the information. So right now, categories, if I leave this blank, it's going to show me all my categories. Now, if I click here, I can actually pick just the categories I wish to see. So if you just wanted to see casual or cultural or mountain, now, why is this important? Because you might have different pages for different clients that you're trying to sell to. So as an example, I have a client years ago that did all kinds of photography, but he was dealing with a client that was very against the whole animal thing, safari and taking pictures of animals and exploiting animals. So he definitely did not want to show this in his portfolio, but he didn't want to have to redo a website. So what he did, he made up a separate page and sent to the client. They can actually see his work for this particular portfolio. So that's what that's used for. So let's cancel this for a second. So if I come over here to portfolio, now let me share with you a really cool production technique. I want to keep this window here, but I also want to be portfolio. So how can I do this? I can either right click or control click Macintosh and open this either inside of a new tab or a new window. I'm going to choose a new tab. Again, production technique 101. So these are the different sections here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I come back here to the front, you will see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so that information is coming from right here. So if you didn't want to see those particular portfolio pieces, that's what you use the portfolio section to turn that portfolio on and off. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So that's how you can basically insert a portfolio into your piece, into your page. So the page here, what you're seeing is exactly here. So if you say, see where it says capture moments as they happen. Well, that's exactly what you're seeing up front here. Capture moments as they happen. Okay, so this is a simple text file. So if I wanted to make changes to that, the way the interface works, this is for editing the changes, this is for duplicating the changes, this is for a new feature for saving the element, and of course, if I don't want it all together, I can turn around and trash it. So this comes down to working smart. So let's say that this section here, I want to duplicate that because I want to have the same formatting without reinventing the wheel as this, but perhaps I just want to say something totally different. So that would be a case of duplicating that area. So I can come here and duplicate that, hit the edit menu and call it something else. So let's call this my October 2016 recent pics, and I'll fix that in a second. Thanks somebody for spell check. Now, if I click right here, I can actually see for SEO purposes, I'm probably going to make this an H1 tag because for SEO, well, I have a complete series of videos that talk into deep, and I just want deep into SEO. So I just want to share with you. So I'm going to hit OK. So it's going to use the same properties as my previous, because I duplicated it. So if I come down here to update, now keep in mind that sometimes, depending on the browser that you're using, this is a preview page that might not update every single time. So what I would suggest you do is once that page is saved, hit preview changes again. So the advantage of using preview changes, it'll keep the back end intact as I view the front end. There's my new change. Now, of course, I probably want to put that in the center, but I didn't. So I just want to share with you where that information is coming from one step at a time. I'm going to close out of this window. I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to trash that. I just did that for demonstration purposes. So I'm just going to click right here and get rid of it. Make a change. Save a change. Good to have to get into. So in our next video, we'll move forward dissecting more of the Avada theme and how it can benefit you and save you time in production techniques. So stay tuned.